Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. It's a pleasure to return with a simple word. Excuse me. A rose or a weed. This is the focus for this episode today. Let us cast our minds back to the book of Luke, chapter 7, where the account of the woman who came to Jesus while he was a guest at the house of one of the Pharisee. That woman, of course, was a prostitute who showed up, kissed Jesus' feet, and poured perfume on them. Simon, who was the Pharisee, and others around him must have concluded that Jesus had no idea who the woman was, and that was why he allowed her to do what she did. In fact, Jesus knew, excuse me, who the woman was. He just did not care to allow her past to interfere with the process of deliverance that was unfolding at the time. Everyone else would have seen her as a weed, something that was wild, unwanted, not good enough to be associated with, something to be taken and cast out, banned from ever coming close to Jesus. She was not welcome. However, I believe that Jesus saw a rose, which is a much pleasant plant that appeals to the eyes, something decorative, attractive. This story proves that nobody is beyond the reach of God's grace. The crowd may have seen a weed, something to be gathered and thrown out and set ablaze, but Jesus looked at her as a rose, which needed water, and he watered her. The past of that woman did not matter, only her future, which was what Jesus beheld. She came pouring her worship while her heart cried for forgiveness. There was no condemnation from the one who knew everything about her. The same applies to all of us, my friend, to all of those who live outside of the will of God for them. Do not condemn yourself, because God does not condemn you, even if everyone around you does. We're told in Psalms 103, verse 13, the Lord is like a father who loves his children, tender and compassionate. The Lord is like father to his children, tender and compassionate. God sees us as roses that could be put to diverse uses. He also wants us to treat each other the same way. Just like the crowd in that story. Is there someone whom you have put aside because you consider him or her to be weed, fit for nothing? We cannot condemn anyone whom God had not condemned. That includes ourselves. John chapter 3 verse 18 says, he that believes is not condemned. Romans 1 verse 8, there is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. My friend, as I bring this to a close today, what do you see yourself as? A rose, a weed? Are there folks whom you consider to be weed due to what you observe from afar? Remember that what you know was the past of those people. Give them and yourself a chance by viewing them as roses with potentials that can flourish in the future. Dearly beloved, I leave you today hoping that you will switch everyone else you may have placed on the weed basket, roses that can grow, that can flourish, that can be appealing, pleasant, beautiful, decorative, not weed to be discarded. We can't condemn people whom God hasn't condemned. We cannot condemn ourselves either. I thank you for joining me today. Until I come your way again, It's goodbye for now. God bless you.